Hey guys, it's Kyler with KBS Race Products. We've got a Fox Body Mustang in here. We kind of want to go over and talk about the suspension setup that we're doing. It's come out to be a pretty cool car so far. We've still got a lot of work to do, but it's right here. I think we'll drop it down a little bit and get a little bit of a better view of kind of what we've done. We've got a rear end over there that we'll go over in a second. All right, so this car has got the torque boxes done with multiple adjustment holes. I think we're 3x4 on the bottoms and 3x4 on the top too. So new torque boxes and upper links is what they would be for the chassis. They're really nice as far as getting rid of the old ones. The old ones will start ripping the chassis stitch welds out and kind of start ripping them apart. So do yourself a favor and don't full weld all your stock stuff if you have a Fox body. If you're trying to build a car like a pretty aggressive street car or just a drag car, you're definitely going to want the multiple suspension, even autocross type setup. It's super beneficial to have all the adjustment, essentially how you bite down to the ground, what it's going to do with the suspension, whether it squats, lifts, anti-squat, whatever it might be. So we trimmed out all the wheel wells, and it was a little bit hacked up already when we first got it. There was no tire space or anything, so we ended up test fitting the wheels, and it wasn't fitting with the frame clearance at all. So instead of notching the frame, we just kind of went to the next extent a little bit, which will end up paneling and connecting the body back to these tubes that we're running here. But we're running a tube back end now, and we're going to have a detachable bumper. We'll eventually run a parachute off of this if we need it. And then we got the anti-roll bar right here, just right in front of where our cutoff was on the frame, where the kit has it installed. It's come out pretty good. We're trying to get all the fuel cells set up and coilovers mounted and everything like that. And then it'll also be beneficial to have the roll cage be able to come down and tie into tubing rather than just onto the thinner flat plate of the frame rail, so of the stock frame rail. So this Fox body is just going to be a small tire car. So the biggest tire that we're going to be running is right here. It's a Mickey Thompson 30x13.5 R15. Hopefully we don't have to run anything bigger than this. If we do, we'd have to do some extra trimming, which would mean that we would have to probably, instead of doing the mini tub, we'd have to do a full tub. So come over here and I'll kind of explain that difference right there. So right here we're cut out for a mini tub setup where it's all trimmed, that we can utilize this little lip right here to run our new tub off of, because we don't need to go increased area by any means. We're not going to be using that area with the tire. If you do have a setup that you're running a bigger tire, you do need to utilize all that area. You'd be doing a full tub. So at that point, you'd come in here and you would cut all along the inside of the car and then take out a lot of this stitch welding here and very minimalize the lip that's there so it doesn't tear your tire apart, and run all the way against the fender, or all the way against the side of the body essentially on the inside, and trim it in. And you'd have to redo your paint and stuff too, because you'd have to tack it in. You can kind of float it, I've seen a couple times, but the better way is to tack it against and get the body work done and repaint it or whatnot. But that's the difference between the mini and the full tub. So another reason too that we're running the mini tub is because we're trying to run an anti-squat setup. So we're going to be separating as we go, rather than squatting down really far and having to utilize all that room. So hopefully we'll be separating and then kind of coming back down as you're going down the track. It helps a lot with the get-go, laying the tire down on the track. That's how basically all of the small tire drag cars are doing it nowadays on the no prep. So that's how we're setting this up. That's what this car is going to be. He's going to put street tires on it and go cruise it around too at the same time. So this is going to be a pretty fun car to have. All right, so for this rear end, what we started off with was a road racing Blink 48-inch wide rear end setup for the Ford 9-inch. This is just our jig housing piece that we have for the jig setup. So we've got all the bracketry and stuff that's on here right now we designed and made in-house on the CNC plasma table. Other than that, we have the jig setup that's in here to ensure everything stays as straight as possible while we're welding everything up. The biggest trick is to make sure that your bar stays spinning. So as long as your bar spins, you shouldn't be warped too much, be within range and be able to play with it. If it seizes up, then you might need to figure out how to get the tubing kind of warp the other way or something. But just go slow, take it slow, take your time. So it's not 100% finished yet. We still got a little bit of welding to do, a couple tabs kind of lay down and get all seated and welded up, as well as laying down the back brace. It's going to be obviously on the back of the rear end to hold everything nice and stable as it's running down the road. We don't end up with anything tweaking. The two bars from side to side are really going to help the mounts. We're also going to throw a little diagonal from the strut mount down to this bar to give this some extra strength down there. All right, so the last things on this, we just got to make and finish the upper mounts. We kind of have started right over there. I'll go over in a second. And then we got to make the back braces that are going to go from the back of the housing over to the side of the tube, somewhere around the control arm area, to really make all this structural and keep the tube from jumping back and forth or anything. These mounts we have right here are what we're going to use for the upper mounts. I think I'm going to take a couple of the holes out of the adjustment, so that way we're running 3x2 rather than 4x3. It'll help a lot with the height off of the rear end housing. If we end up running all the holes, we're going to stick this ear pretty high off the rear end, and I don't think we're going to need all that adjustment up high by any means. We're about to cut out our upper link mount for that 49-inch rear end. We've got a CNC plasma table here in house. It's the STV 4x8 welded frame table. It's been super nice to have around. I love having it. We can dig into that a little bit deeper in another video one of these days, but here's our mount right here if you want to come over and take a look at them. So I've modified those mounts that we had over there I showed you on the table, and now we've got 2x3 for the adjustments. So we'll run over here and get it laid out on the table. And so now from here, we can move the table over, make some room for our material to go on there, and then load up some material. So we're using 3/16 steel, mild steel for all of the mounts, and then the bolt slot retainer pieces that go on are just going to be the 1/8 inch to help keep the bolt holes from slotting out and stuff. Watch out, buddy. All right, so these are the brackets right here. We just got these fresh off the table. These are the old ones that we decided to take some adjustment off of the holes. So we still got to prep these up. You do it with the orbital sander or some type of way to get all of the face nice and shiny before you weld them together. If you have mill scale on your plate that you cut out or that you're using and you are sick of using all your flap discs trying to get it off, you can use muriatic acid. And it's not the best to breathe in, so be careful for sure. But you let it soak in there for a couple minutes and it's all off. Take it off, rinse it off with water really good. If you need to neutralize it, use baking soda, by the way. But yeah, that'll take the mill scale off really fast. Other than that, I think that's about all that we've got for the video this week. So for the Fox body, we still have frame bracing, roll cage to do. Got to finish up the tub. Still have a lot of work and stuff to do too. So if you guys want to see some more videos and stay updated on that, leave a comment and let me know that that's something you'd want to see, and we can make that happen for sure. Thanks for you guys' time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time.